All right, guys, let's check out this new creation from Zach over at Cincy Strap Company. So obviously he's rooted into the watch community and he's a huge fan of homage style watches. More importantly, like the Submariner style or even the older Tudor Submariner style watches, and you're going to see a lot of design characteristics applied to this actual model. This is the Nereus Santiago, and this is his first debut type watch. There are two colorways. There's a black and then there's this blue, and then you have two bezel insert options. You have this GMT bezel insert option or the dive one. So maybe future down the road I will be able to see another one, maybe the black one with the dive bezel. Maybe I'll get a hold of Zach and see if I can check that out. You can do date, no date as well. So you have pretty much the main options that you would expect in a watch of this sort. So I think the pre-order is right now, and that's obviously that's your best time to get any of these launch style watches is in the pre-order. That's your best deal. This guy's only $3.99. I don't have the bracelet here. That it will come with a bracelet and it will come with one of the Cincy straps. So the bracelet is going to be kind of an oyster style bracelet with an articulating center, from the solid end link, the center one's going to articulate, so it's going to have a really nice flow to it, and it'll have pretty much your normal that you expect with a micro brand clasp. It should have like 6 micro adjusts, double pushers and a fold over, I'm guessing. I'll put a link to the website down below. Check it out. If you're interested in one, make it happen. That's how it works. So let's get into the size. This is a 40mm case. The bezel's a little bit wider, so about 40.5 at the bezel, but 40 case, 48 lug to lug. You can see right away all the shapes and everything. It's very recognizable, right? So 48 lug to lug, drilled lugs, very thin profile on the main body of the case. You do have a 7mm screw down crown, so you're going to have that 200-meter water resist and 20mm lug width there. So these are the numbers that everyone will agree that is basically a sweet spot for a size. It's the Goldilocks size for most watches. So once you lock that down, then the rest of it is you can kind of play with your small little touches as far as, this has got the triangle and the round, for the indices, nice touch. And then you have a Mercedes influenced handset that is full polished. And then this one obviously is the date cutout at 3 o'clock. 120 click bezel on this guy. Nice bezel action, very clicky and easy to use, no problem there, and everything lines up. So if you like the GMT bezel, then there you go. I personally would rather have the dive style one on this, but some people like to track another time zone. This is how you're going to do it. So the straps, this is actually, I can't remember if I've checked out the Cincy straps before either. They're really well done straps, nice hardware, and very clean. So if you're interested in some really cool NATO straps, check them out as well. So I don't know if I mentioned movement is going to be the Miyota 9015. So you do have that. And yes, you can get a little bit of excessive rotor spin. That's just the way these movements work. Some people find it charming. Some people are annoyed by it. If you're annoyed by it, don't buy a watch with that movement. So that's the only thing you can do about it. You can't change that, right? So let's pop this guy on the wrist. We'll do some close-ups, and of course, we'll take a look at that BGW9 lume. Now, I also will put a link in the description to a couple of videos well done, quite frankly, better than the videos I do, from Pete at Chillin' with Watches, and also Casper over at Ghost Watches. So they both actually checked out this watch before I got it. So there you go. Looks great, fits perfect. Like I said, it's a sweet spot for sizing on this watch for sure. And great NATOs. If you're into NATOs, definitely check out the Cincy Strap Company NATOs. They're in Cincinnati, Ohio, hence the name. So let's pop this off. We'll do a close-up and then we'll close out with the lume. So I believe this is a prototype. So if you do see anything that stands out, you might want to chalk that up for a prototype. There might be some subtle changes. I don't think this is a fully, it's got to be like 90%, which is most cases when you have these prototypes, they really should be close to being completed. But you can see that one's a little scratched up there. This has been passed around to a few people, but you can see the brushing on top of the lugs there, nice and clean, and then it transitions to a nice polished relief, and then you have full polished case sides. This one has a full polished case back, so it will get scratched up. I'm not sure if that's going to stick around for the actual production model or not, but overall, really clean design. I like the branding, I like the logo, and I like the color of this, the blue on this. You know, with the release of, I haven't actually handled that new Black Bay 58 in the blue, but I kind of get the feeling this is like similar. I'm sure it's different, but I really like this blue. I don't see a ton of watches done in this blue. It's a little more muted and matte colored, so I think it's I don't know, it just plays well with a lot of different color straps. Like when it was sent over on this strap, but I noticed this one, and this blue is a more vivid. This one is almost like a dirty blue to me. This one looks more vivid, so I just wanted to throw this one on, so I'm digging that. But on bracelet, obviously that's how I would wear it, but you know, you could do mesh or whatever strap you want to do. This thing on leather would look great as well. So let's kill the lights, check the loom. I'm hoping that the BGW9 is printed on heavily on this. Oh yeah. See, they have a pretty good amount of real estate on these printed dials like this with those larger loom plots and those large triangles. So I'm very satisfied with the level of loom application on this. It pops out right away. It's very vivid, and it's a nice coating. I don't know how many layers they did, but they did it right. So, all right. Thanks, Zach, for letting me check this out. And thanks, Pete and Casper over at Ghost Watches for doing your videos. I'll put a link to those, and I'll see you guys in the next vid.